Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully load our view page and I get all the data and visible it in here. So right now in our database there have no data for the reasons you can see it's now totally empty. So now friend I want to insert all the data. So if you want to insert this data here we have to create one of the form, right? So if you click as a add the grade mark, then it should be loaded one of the form, and this form I want to take from our employee registration. Into the employee registration, if you go to that add employee, you can see they have the multiple fields. So right now which field will be needed, I want to take this field. So that is our employee registration add page. Now go to this folder first. So that is our employee registration. Into the employee registration, and that is the employee add, right? So first of all I want to create this route. So that is our view page. Into the view page, that is actually one of the buttons. So this button will be as a not that employee, I make it as a I make it as a here I name it as a mark entry grade, right? And this mark grade view. So better I want to use that another name as a mark. Okay, marks and then the grade add. So this step of one of the route I want to create. Now go to our web route. Into the web route I copy and paste it, and then here I name it as a marks grade add. I copy it, that will be as a marks grade add, and I just name it as a marks grade add. And then in our grade controller I want to create one of the method as a mark grade add. Okay, so this type of one of the method I want to create, so that will be as a grade and add. Okay, I want to create this method in our grade controller. Now go to our grade controller. After this I name it as a public, and then function, and then our method. That will be our method. So into this method I only want to do and to return one of the view page. I think you already know. Okay, here I simply paste it. So right now we don't have any data, I make it as a clean. So I want to create one of the page as a grade mark add. So this type of one of the page I want to create in our marks folder. Now go to our backend. Into the backend, that is our marks. Into the marks folder I want to create one of the new folder, and now that means a new file. Now click as a save as, and I name it as a marks grade add dot blade .php. Okay, so that will be our page, and this page from right now, as I told you, that will be just like our employee registration. Into the employee registration there is a add, because here they have the multiple actually field. I need this all that field. Right now I select everything from our employee registration add page. Right now we don't need this, and now in our grade marks add, here I simply paste it. So now which field will be needed, I only want to take this part, like there is a JavaScript. So here we don't need this JavaScript, I simply remove this JavaScript. Okay, and then let's check this out. First of all, that is a add employee. So now that will be as a add grade marks. Okay, that will be as a add grade marks, and that will be as a store method. I will do the things later. First of all I want to update that all that field. If you go to our database table, in the first of all that will be as a grade name. So now I name it that will be as a grade name, as a grade, and then the name. Okay, so now I name it as a grade name. Perfect. And also I put that name as per our database field name as a grade name. Okay, so now there is our another one as a grade point. I copy it and make it that field name as a grade point, and that will be as a grade point. Then that is actually one of the type as a input text type, right? So that will be as a grade, and that means the grade, and then the point I make it as a capital actually for looking better. Okay, and then our name as a grade point, and then there is our start marks. I copy it, and that will be as a start marks. And for the start marks I name that field name as the start marks, so that will be the starts. Okay, starts underscore mark. And then I want to take another one. That will be as a and marks. I copy that and marks, so that will be as a and marks. I name that field name as a and marks. that is the and then that will be as a marks. Okay, and then there is our another one as a start point. I copy it, that will be as a here. So right now we don't need this, actually this select form. Here I only need some of the text forms, so where I copy this form group. Okay, I copy this form group and here I remove this form group, and you can see if I also put one of the note as a and call for, that means that's total part as a form group. I remove it and here I paste it. Perfect. And also there is a same here, we don't need this. That is a form group. I remove this form group and I paste it on here, and that is the same. I want to update that form group. Okay, so that is our another one. I make it as a one of the form group. Perfect. So now what we do to update this position. So that is our and mark. There is a mobile number and mark, and then that is our and mark, right? So that is our and mark, and then start point. So I copy it. Okay, after that and mark I make it as a start point. So that will be as a start point. I name it as a start, and then the point, that will be the start point. And then after this start point I name it as an and point. I copy it, and then here I name it as an and point, and that will be as an and point. Okay, that will be as an and point. Perfect. And then our another one as a remark. So I copy it, that will be as a remark. I make it as a remark, and then I make that feed name as a remark. Perfect. So friend, that's all for our field. And you can see that is our third row. So right now we don't need this row, so better I remove this row. That means I want to remove this group, and then that is our call 4, and there is a call 3, and there is a 4th. So I have already included all that our field. So right now we don't need this. I want to do and to remove this row 4. I simply select it. Okay, I select everything. There is our and, you can see there is and 4th row. So that is our and 4th row. I want to remove total row. You can see there is a 4th row. So right now I remove this. So I remove it, and then that is our remark, and after that there is our another MD4. There is MD4, and then the submit. Okay, so now I want to check it. Now if you click as a save all, I click as a save all. Now go there and now refresh it. And now go to our marks management and the marks grade. So there is a grade. Now go to that add marks. Yeah, perfect. You can see there is a grade name, the grade point, the start marks, the mobile number. You can see there is a mobile number. So right now we don't need this mobile number field. So that is in our that is actually here. You can see here I am actually using one of the mobile number field. So I remove this th, that means the MD4. I remove it. Now first of all check it. Now there's a save all, and now if you refresh it, so now that is our grade name, grade point, and the start, right? Here I want to take it also in particular that area. That means right now there is our row. That is our row. I want to do, that is our second row, right? So into the second row there is our 1, and there is our 2, and there is our and second row, and there is our and third row, right? So I want to actually take it, I cart it from to this position. So that is our third row. I cart it from here, and now in our second row, into the second row they have the 2 only. So now that will be the first one, there is a second one, and then after that, okay, after that, before that, our second row, I want to paste it. Okay, and then that will be our remark. Remark is for our third row. Now let's check this out. If you click the save all and now refresh it, yeah, perfect. So now that's great. So now there is a grade name, there is a grade point, and there is a start mark, there is a and mark, there is start point, and then there is our remark, right? So here actually they have the three row. So they have the three row. First that is our first row. Into the first row area I take this grade name, I take this grade point, I take this as another one as that is start mark, right? And you can see that is our and after that there is a second one, and with the second one I take it another call MD4 as for the and mark and the start point and then the end point, and then our second row is completed. And after that I take another row. So there is our another row, only 4 I have taken one, that means the one column D4, and that is our remark, and that is our and row, right? That means the and third row. Perfect. So right now that is actually the looking great. So now I want to insert this data. So if you want to insert this data, the procedure will be just like that same. Here you can see there is on the submit button, and there is our form. So into the form area, that will be same as that is actually our form. Into the form area right now we don't need this any NC type, because of all from here I don't updated any images, so right now I remove it. Okay, and that will be the store. I name it as the store grade, that is a marks grade. Okay, I make it as the same name as a store marks and then the grade, sorry. So that will be the store marks grade. So this type of one of the route I want to create. So now go to our web route, and that will be one of the post methods. So after this add, I want to take another one that will be as a post method, and then here I name it in our add page, I name that our store marks grade. I copy it, that will be as a store marks grade, right? So now I want to update it that our URL will be as a marks grade store, and then in our grade controller I want to create one of the method as a marks grade. Okay, I name it as a marks store or marks grade store. Okay, I name, simply paste it, that will be as a store. Perfect. So now we have to create this method in our grade controller. So now go to our grade controller, into the grade controller. After this I name it as a public, and then function, and then our marks grade store. And here that is one of the post method, right? So that is on the post method. Obviously here we have to pass that as a request, and then the $request. Okay, so that will be as a $request, and then that will be actually very simple process with our model, where actually I want to insert all the data. I want to insert all the data in our this marks grade. So for this marks grade I have already created another model, so that is our model as a marks grade, right? So now with this model I want to insert this data. So here I want to take as a data, and then the new, and then our marks grade. So that will be as a marks grade, right? And after that I take as a data, I take as a data, and then our database field name, and then our requested field name. So that's all we have to do. So in our database there is our field name as a grade name, so I copy it, and so that will be a grade name, that will be, and then our requested field name. Our requested field name for the grade name, if you go to our add page, into the add page, our requested field name as a grade name, right? So now I simply name it. And also here we have to add that all that our field, better I copy it and then I paste it. Okay, so that is our grade name, and then another one as a grade point, I copy it, that is our database field name, and then our requested field in our add page, so that is our grade point, right? So it not should be hard for you at that point, I believe, because we did the same things a lot of the time. So that is our another field as a start marks, and start marks in our requested marks as a start marks. I always actually use the same name as per our database field name, then that is actually pretty much easy. So now there is our another and marks, so I name it as and marks, and then our requested and marks. Okay, and marks. Perfect. And then another one as a start point and the end point, so I make it as a start point in our requested as a start point, I make it as a start point, and then the end point I copy, that will be as a end point, and our requested as a same name as an endpoint. So now I name it as an endpoint, and then the remarks I copy it, so that will be as a remarks, and our requested field name also as a remarks. Okay, now that is our remarks. Perfect. So that's all that our database field, and that all that our requested field. And after that, I want to do with this data I want to save it. That means the save. Okay, I simply save it, and after that save, I want to display some of the notification, but I want to put some of the note as a and method. Okay, that means that is our and store method. So after this, that is the notification we use a lot of the time as a toaster. If you go to our profile controller, into the profile controller, you can see there is actually the notification. Now I copy it. So this type of one of the notification I want to visible when this data will be saved. After that it should be display some of the notification as a I want to change it as a grade, and then marks, grade marks inserted successfully. This type of one of the name it should be display, and then it should be redirect to our view page. I have already created on the view page. You can see on our view route is here, this one as a marks entry grade. So I copy it, and now that will be as a marks entry grade. Okay, so and with this notification it should be display. Okay friends, that's all we have to do. I hope every part is very much clear to you. So now let's check it. Now if you click as a save all, and now here if you go click as a refresh. So now I want to insert this data. I want to insert as a plus. I put that grade point as a 5++, and I put that as a 80, and end mark I make it as a 100. Okay, start point as a 500, I make it as a 5, and remark I make it as a excellent. So this type of one of the data I want to insert. Now if you click as a submit, yeah, you can see it's now successfully submitted as a grade mark inserted successfully. And now you can see our view page is also now activated because I have already get all the data. So I have already get this data with our this view from our grade mark, that means the mark grade model. I get all the data, take the things with this variable, and here I pass it in our marks view page, right? So into the view page you can see it's now showing as a grade name, grade point, the start time, that means the end time, and point range as a 5 to 5, right? And then remark is excellent. Perfect. So now we are successfully able to insert this data. Now there is a edit portion. So how can edit this better? I want to continue this process. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.